I'm an ABC political analyst along with being a View co-host. My job is to analyze the politics of it. And I'm telling you,
but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that are the senators
that are
in
let you talk. Let me
in the
finish.
Senate. The Republican senators.
Here's what's happening now. We're gonna keep. Girl, please stop talking. Please stop talking right now. Because you know what? What's happening? Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Are you listening?
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Very early on in the primaries. I don't like it when men touch me in general without asking permission. If I were handing that and some man went like this, I would not like it. Is it assault? No. I also agree that I don't think it goes to the level of assault. Is it inappropriate for a journalist to be doing that to a White House aide? 100%.
Did he really touch her, though? I thought he just took his mic back.
The way I just thought, he pushed her arm away. Yeah. And again, I don't like that.
By the way, they're edited videos now that are out there, so
he's pushing it down.
He's blocking her.
That what I saw was a battery, not by Jim Acosta, but by the young White House aide.
Yeah.
When you are holding something, if I may, if you're holding something and you snatch this from me, this cup is now an extension of me. And that means you've battered me. You've assaulted me.
So you're blaming the woman in this situation.
You're blaming the woman's fault for doing her job.
Well, but that's just the law.
She was so
I'm not assigning
that White House intern should be arrested for battery.
I'm telling you what the law is.
So we should get her arrested for battery.
I'm telling you what the law is.
Clearly, I mean that is exactly.
I'm telling you what the law is.
Okay, hold on. Finish the. This is the lawyer.
I'm telling you that
you better arrest her.
So
I mean, you better go arrest her for battery.
Stop, Meghan. Go ahead.
I think what's terrible is that the White House, through the press secretary, sent out an edited, doctored video.
We really need Super Nanny. We're in a very dark place at the moment. Meghan can be very angry, lots of shouting, screaming, rudeness.
Daughter, we think. Because she used her personal account to send hundreds of emails about government business last year.
That was one of the things he ran on. That was a significant part of his platform. And to just do the same thing. But I think that's what happens when you have this kind of nepotism going on in the White House.
I think when one of your dad's taglines is lock her up, specifically about an email, controversy, that you should know the difference for that reason alone. I will say, let us not forget, Hillary had emails deleted by a computer specialist amid a congressional investigation as she had her aides smash her devices with a hammer.
But does
that is a different thing.
But does it make it different if both things are on the?
I just am trying to explain the Republican side of this, but
no,
again,
I understand, but it provoked the question: does that change the fact that people are using their personal emails, regardless of how they did it, but does it change the fact that they're using personal emails?
Destroying emails during an investigation is still different, and smashing devices with a hammer, having your aides do it, to me, is still different.
If things aren't going quite the right way or something's not quite working, Meghan can get a little bit agitated.
Do I think it's hypocritical? 100%. Do I think she should have known better? 100%. But I agree with Abby on this one. We should be more concerned about, and my father said this, when a car alarm is going off every day, you get desensitized to what's really important. What we should be most fearful of is the fact that our president is still using his personal phone. I care about that much more than I care about
what you guys chose this, and that's why we're talking about it.
I think it's choose it. It's in the news.
I think it's very important.
So you're getting cross and trying to organise everyone, aren't you?
I'm the director.
I think it's very important, actually. I don't think that
this would not be the #1 topic I would choose for this show today if given the opportunity.
Oh, it's mine.
I haven't. It's my show. Do it.
You have just spoiled it.
I'll take Meghan.
So disrespectful. Can't believe you're putting up with this.
Well, here's how this.
Me too.
I would just say we get so focused on what the headline is that day. And I think what I'm trying to say is the bigger picture. My guess is
I'm not
saying she gets a pass.
I would never give her a pass.
I'm not giving her a pass, but of all the things I was saying of Democrats that could be focused on right now.
You're saying this is not that important.
I just said the greatest.
This is a matter of national security.
I just said the greatest threat to our democracy are the Russians and the Chinese trying to break into our emails, and that's exactly why I think across the board, Hillary.
There's attitude. There's no respect.
and nobody's listening to one another.
All right. Let's stop. Hold on.
You don't care that Hillary
Hold on a second, please.
Because it's
We're
ridiculous.
going to break. We'll be right back.
It is ridiculous.
Please help us.
You guys seriously need my help. I'm on my way.
I will say, Sunny has been a big proponent throughout, I think, the entire time we've been talking about it on the show, of impeachment.
Impeachment!
And I will say, okay, let me finish.
She can be incredibly rude.
Unleash the Kraken. Because honestly, if you're not going to listen to Nancy Pelosi about the political implications of this, just impeach him then. See what happens politically, because what happened with Clinton in the 90s really ended up hurting Republicans, and I think, and many historians of politics believe that it helped get Clinton reelected. Just impeach him then, because quite frankly, I'm sick of hearing everybody bitch about it.
Okay, I'm actually right.
She wasn't having none of it.
Right.
Down. Meghan pulled the crown off.
Meghan?
Well, I think it's sissy stuff. Will that help?
Do it. I'm sick of hearing the infighting with Democrats. Clearly, progressives are running the party. And again, if he has, in fact, as Abby said, extorted.
Don't worry
at this
about the
point,
Democrats. The Democrats are going to get it together.
Can you answer this though for me? I do have a question.
You're sure about that?
Why?
Yes.
All right.
Why has the RNC
On election night, I want that. I want that clip.
People
right
are so
up here.
upset.
Meghan, that behaviour's unacceptable.
I really would love an answer to this.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
No back chat with me either. And that's your warning.
Why is the RNC raised more than 6.5 times the amount?
Because they want to
the
stay in
DNC,
power.
because money speaks. Money speaks more than people just
because
talking.
it's power before country.
Yeah, and that's
Because
the
it's
problem.
power before country.
Because part of the
I really
problem
believe
is
that.
that
And you guys
it's
don't
been
want power.
some of the-
You guys don't
You
want
know what?
power.
Here's what I want.
I'm not
Here's
saying
what,
you. I'm saying
no.
never.
I'm
Never mind.
speaking.
I don't know
I'm
why.
speaking just for. I don't know what you're saying right now,
I
but
know,
I'll
I got
tell
it,
you.
I got it.
I'll tell you what I want. I want somebody I can trust.
Let me just counter that just one
Yeah.
second.
Okay.
I've watched a lot of clips of The View from when Bush was running, my dad was running, and Romney was running. And it sounds a lot the same. You were calling for Bush's impeachment at one time. So again, there's a certain point where Republicans watching, but just bear with me,
Yeah.
When Republicans watching, you are sounding an alarm at all times. So it's hard to differentiate between who you think you can trust, because 10 years ago, you couldn't trust Bush, you couldn't trust Romney,
I'm sorry,
you couldn't trust my dad.
let me be very
I'm
clear.
talking to my base.
But I'm talking to Republicans.
Well,
Meghan, calm down, please. Calm down.
be clear about me and Republicans. I've been friends with Republicans my whole life.
But did you trust them in power?
Sometimes, yeah.
President
I grew
Bush?
up with Republicans in power. I don't always, as I said, I don't like all the things that they do. What I don't like, and what really pushed me aside, and what you may not remember, that I got my behind kicked on, was President Bush, the baby, the younger Bush. Thank you, W. Is the only person who had a plan for the border. And I backed him for that, because I thought, you get it, because you are not making this about Mexicans or this, because these are
About
folks.
security.
Well, about security at the
I'm
border.
old enough to
And
remember
so-
there were no weapons of mass destruction.
So again, the nostalgia
problem with
for
that.
Bush
All right,
right
so
now always entertains me.
Well, I'm glad you're entertained.
I am.
Well, here's the deal.
I know you're angry.
If you can't see why people are upset about this...
Of course I see why people are upset.
Well, then don't be so dismissive when
I'm
you're
not
talking. That's how I
dismissive.
feel. We'll be back.
A serious crime. But I think the right to vote is inherent to our democracy.
Is there merit in this conversation?
I would agree once you're in prison. I don't know that the right to vote is appropriate. But my concern is the laws of our country are disproportionately applied to people of color.
For Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris to go on TV and say that the Boston terrorist deserves any rights in this country after killing 3 people and injuring 264 in 2013, I think is disgraceful.
If they let this terrorist out because he served his time, he gets his, if he's an American citizen, Why is your mouth open like that?
Whoopi, he killed people.
Yes, lots of people do this.
He's a terrorist. He's a radicalized terrorist.
Our Constitution says if you've done your time, you have, we hope, been reformed, you've been changed, you've been grown. If they let him out, that means they feel his time is up and he gets to become the American citizen
He should
again.
never be let out.
An attitude now.
He's a radicalized terrorist.
Well, but you asked me about the book. He's probably never going to get out. But I'm saying.
Simple question: does anybody at this table think anyone who's committed an act of terror that killed 3 Americans and injured 264 should have the right to vote? Anybody at this table think yes?
Well, no, that's not the way to ask that question.
No. Yes, you do have an attitude. We're having a little discussion.
If
he should never be let out.
That's not the conversation. That's what we're talking about.
No, I don't agree that if this terrorist were let
should
out,
not get out.
But I think he should be given the death penalty. My perspective, which is the perspective of most pro-life Republicans, is that we are guaranteed in this country life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, as I define it, it does not include abortion. I believe abortion is murder. I think he should be given the death penalty. I mean, that's where I'm at with this. People who commit acts of terror on American soil.
Does this include, in your mind, domestic terrorists also?
Yes, terrorism is terror. Yes, of course.
And what about you feel about the fact that people in Vermont are allowed to vote?
Abby and I didn't have brothers that served multiple times, and I didn't watch my brother deploy when he was 19 to fight this crap. To have them come here and give the right to vote.
You are missing. Wait, hold on.
If you didn't have an attitude, you would not have raised your voice to me, now would you?
Let's be realistic here. The discussion here was if he got out.
Yes.
That was the discussion.
Then I'm against it. Maybe you think terrorism is funny. I do not.
No.
Nobody talks to me like that. You understand me?
You're missing. Don't do that, Meghan. Don't do that.
You in danger, girl.
Supposed to decide the fate of the defendant until you hear all the facts.
But how is that different than Rashida Tlaib on election night saying it?
We're gonna impeach the motherfucker.
It's partisanship on both sides before the trial has even begun. The idea, this like pearl clutching that it's only Republicans that are doing this, is a completely partisan process. I think the American public is completely sick of it. And I also take great offense at the idea that there's not integrity and seriousness given the gravity of the accusations. And I think most people have tuned out because both sides are making it as political as they are.
You mentioned something that I want to say. You know, when people are sitting in judgment of something, it's different if you say, you know,
Impeach the motherfucker.
People yell stuff, say stuff.
I don't see a difference between those two political animals saying this basically the same thing, and I implore everyone to stop being as partisan on both sides.
This divide that you talk about all the time, I know.
Me?
Yeah, that you talk about all the time.
Well, I just spend most of my time around conservatives. I don't spend my time around, like on my off time, and I know that there are a group of people in this country that think this is completely partisan on the left as well, and I'm not saying what Lindsey Graham said was okay because I disagree with it, but the idea that, like, oh, we're in a Pollyanna moment and our innocence is lost now.
So many senators that voted to not only impeach but also convict President Clinton.
Right. That is the height of hypocrisy for this Republican-led Senate.
But my job
I don't
here,
understand that.
My job here is not to litigate the ethics of it. I'm an ABC political analyst along with being a View co-host.
Oh, girl, you gotta stop.
My job is to analyze the politics of it, and I'm telling you the politics.
But I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that are the senators that are in the Senate, the Republican Senate.
Here's what's happening now. We're gonna keep. Girl, please stop talking. Please stop talking right now.
I'm extremely disappointed in you.
Because you know what?
No
What's
problem.
happening? Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
I won't talk the rest of the show. No problem.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If you're going to behave like this.
You come in here and you treat this like a joke.
I'm not behaving like anything. I'm trying to show a conservative perspective.
Yes, we understand that.
Talk,
but but what you're doing.
What is wrong with you? Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. You roll in your eyes and you act like this because you've heard it all before. You've heard it all before. You don't know where the hell I come from. Learn something from this. Take responsibility for yourself.
Here's what I'm going to say. if they let this terrorist out because he served his time, he gets his, if he's an American citizen.
Are you listening?
Why is your mouth open?
Damn.
Okay, hold on. Finish the. This is the lawyer.
I'm telling this.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Why is this important?
All right. Stop. Hold on.
Counter that just 1 second. He killed people.
Yes, lots of people do this.
Of course I see why people are
then
upset.
don't be so dismissive when
I'm
you're
not
talking.
critical. You don't think that Hillary...
Hold on a second, please. Girl, please stop talking.
Just bear with me. Just bear with me.
Well, here's the deal. Please stop talking right now.
Whoopi.
I don't know what you're saying right now.
I won't talk the rest of the show. No problem.
Okay, I'm okay with that. We hope you're gonna behave like this.
I'm not behaving like you
are.
You
You're
show.
let me.
to Republicans.
Let me be clear. Stop, Meghan. Go ahead.
I think what's terrible is that
always entertains me.
Well, you know,